Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading, another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look into the taboo obsession people have of you. So it's gonna be a little controversial, which way I like. Let's get into it. We have 4 piles. And I would urge you to only choose one pile. But obviously, if you feel drawn to more, you can choose more. But yeah, we have the Fool card. We have the 3 of Wands. Pile 1, we have the Fool. Pile 2, we have the 3 of Cups. Pile 3, we have the 9 of Pentacles. And the 4th pile, we have the 6 of Wands. Let's take a look into this taboo obsession and let's see what are we gonna discover. I'll see you in each of your piles. Okay, come closer. Pile number 1, you have the Fool card. Next to it, the Sun and the Star. We have stabbed in a bag, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shock, and attack. We have love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. We have hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistence, working on it. Twin flames, yin and yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. Let's actually get into it. The Fool card. This obsession didn't start because you tried. It started because you didn't. You move like someone who's not calculating every outcome. Pile 1, you don't overperform, you don't over-explain, you don't chase. And whether you realize it or not, that does something to people who are used to being one in control. The Fool energy is dangerous because it feels unattached. When someone can't tell if you are attached, interested, invested, or just vibing, their mind fills in the blanks, and baby, their mind has been busy. With the Sun and the Star together, they didn't just develop a crush here, they develop a storyline. With the Sun is how you make them feel at the moment. It's warm, seen, lit up, how you could be laughing at some random or talking about something completely normal, and they're just watching you and thinking like, why do they glow like that? It's not even about looks always, it's about your presence. It's the way you hold yourself, the way you don't seem pressed with matters, the way you don't beg for attention but for some reason still get it. There was probably a moment small to you that hit them way harder than you expect. Maybe you touched their arm casually while talking. Maybe you gave them a genuine compliment. Maybe you made eye contact a second too long. To you, that's probably nothing. To them, that's the core memory. Let's talk about the Star, because this is where it gets delusional in the softest way possible. They don't just like you, they idealize you. You become the symbol of their mind, of peace, of healing, of like what I've been waiting for. And the crazy thing is that you didn't apply for that role, right? They kind of assigned it to you. They've imagined you comforting them after a hard day. They've imagined introducing you to people. They've imagined arguments and making up. They've imagined you choosing them over someone else. And some of those scenarios have never even been close to happening in real life. That's why it's obsessive. It's internal, it's private, it's not based on a full reality of you. It's based on how you make them feel in those key moments. Now, this is where it gets messy. We have stabbed in the back. This person has been hurt before, and not lightly hurt. It's deeply betrayed, lied to, made to feel stupid for trusting. So when they feel drawn to you, instead of just enjoying it, their nervous system goes on the alert. If you take longer to reply one day, their brain goes kind of, here we go, right? If you seem distracted, they start scanning for signs. If you mention someone else casually, even harmlessly, they feel something twist in their chest. And instead of saying, hey, I'm actually feeling insecure and sit with it, they overanalyze. They replay interactions to see if they actually missed something. You trigger desire and fear at the same time, and I think that's powerful. Now we have Love card. That soft underbelly here, because they genuinely care. They feel affection. It's not just ego or competition. When something reminds them of you, it's automatic. A song plays and they think they would like this, and they see a place and imagine taking you there. They accomplish something and want your validation specifically, and they don't fully understand why it matters so much that it's you, but it does. Hammer is where the obsession loop. They go back over and over, back to your photos, back to your old conversation, back to that one thing you said, back to wondering if they should reach out again. They would literally tell themselves, okay, I'm done thinking about this, and then 2 hours later they're back on it. It's compulsive, it's scratching at the thought. And then twin flames, this is the intensity they can't logically explain. You activate something in them, maybe you challenge them without trying, maybe you see through them in a way that makes them feel exposed, maybe you don't validate the ego the way others do, but around you they feel seen. And that's scary, because when someone sees you, they can also reject you. That's why sometimes they might pull back or act nonchalant or pretend they are less invested than they are. But internally, it's very loud. They've questioned the things, whether it is fate, they've wondered why it feels very magnetic, they've asked themselves why they can't just treat you like everyone else. And the most taboo part, they want to be the one you lose control over. They want you to be the exception. They want the one you can't replace, the one you chase, the one you chose publicly. And there is a slight competitive energy too. Like they think about other people wanting you. They imagine someone else getting your attention, and it bothers them because it bothers them a lot, more than they admit, even if you have never promised anything to them. And to you, you're just a fool. You're living, moving freely, not realizing someone is mentally replying your smile at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's obsession. It's not just having about you, It's about having what you would mean. And to own you, perhaps, that what it would mean to their ego, to their wounds, to their healing, to their story. And that's why it feels so deep, even if on the surface it hasn't been like that serious, because to them it is. Let's get into the next spread. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands, we have Strength, we have Hermit in here. Spread 2, this one is different. We're talking about the same person, deeper layer. Now, we're not on a fantasy anymore. We're in an internal chaos that they don't show. Let's talk about it. The 5 of Wands is mental noise. Competition, inner conflict, comparison. It's not just peaceful obsession. It's the kind of where their ego is involved. You trigger their competitive side. And I don't even mean it in an obvious way. It's subtle. The way they compare themselves to other people around you. They notice who comments, who likes, who laughs a little too hard at your jokes. Even if you are in a room, they're clocking who's around you. And here's the gag. Sometimes the competition isn't even real. It's imagined. You could be minding your own business, being friendly, being normal, and in their head, it's like, are they more into that person? Do they act like this with everyone? Am I special, or am I just rotation? 5 of Wands, it's insecurity masked as pride. They don't want to feel threatened, so they try to act unbothered, but internally they feel like they have to win you, prove something, stand out. They might even start improving themselves around you, going to the gym more, dressing better, posting differently, trying to seem more interesting. Not because you ask, because they feel like they're in a silent competition for your attention. Now, Strength, this is the part they try to control. Strength is about self-restraint. It's holding back the impulse to text you, biting their tongue when they feel jealous. It's calming themselves down even when they start spiraling. So for example, they see online, you haven't replied yet. The first instinct is to double text. The Strength said, no, relax, don't look desperate. They want to react emotionally, but they don't. They sit with it. You trigger their pride and their vulnerability all at the same time. Some try to hinder you maturely, they try to handle you maturely, even when they're low-key losing their mind inside. Strength also tells me that they admire you deeply, not only romantically. They see you as someone who's strong, confident, self-possessed, and they want to match that. But sometimes, instead of expressing insecurity, they compensate by acting cooler than they feel. Now let's get into Hermit. This is where things get private, because all of this, they don't talk about it. They kind of process you alone. Late at night, in their room, in their car, in silence. The Hermit is overthinking in solitude. They reflect on every interaction. Did I say too much? Did they seem interested? Am I projecting? Why do they affect me like this? They try to rationalize their obsession. They try to talk themselves out of it. You might even they might even try to distance themselves, at times just to get a clarity. You might notice like random quiet paces from them, not because they don't care, because they're trying to understand their own intensity. And sometimes the hermit energy makes them withdraw instead of compete. Five of Wands says they feel competition. Strength said, hold it in. The hermit says they retreat and analyze it. So outwardly, they may look very composed, but internally, it's loud. They question whether they're overreacting. They question whether you're out of the league. They question whether this connection is one-sided. And instead of confronting you, they confront themselves. This is why this obsession feels mature, but very intense. It's not chaotic like chasing nonstop. It's like a controlled chaos. They fight themselves about you. They discipline themselves because of you. They isolate to understand you. And the part they will never admit, you challenge their ego. Not by rejecting them, by not revolving around them. And that forced a lot of growth. That's why the spread feels very heavier, very much, because it's less fantasy and more inner work. You didn't just make them want you make them question themselves. And that kind of obsession doesn't fade easily, collective. And that is your story for pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. And yeah, of course, it's also what I wanted to tell you also. It doesn't only apply romantically, but when we're talking about like obsession, taboo, it's gonna get a little like intense, personal, explicit, right? So do adjust in your situation. And that would be all. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye. Alright, hello pile 2. You chose the 3 of Cups. Welcome to your pile. We have the Strength and the Fool card. The photograph, it said, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. Not today. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation or a call or person. Boundaries, still angry. We have the Butterfly, relationship evolving to the next pace, healing the inner child and growth. And also we have Axe, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. Ooh, it's very, very it's kind of like there's a lot of denial on this energy. Let's get into it. The taboo obsession people have of you. This is starting with the 3 of Cups, right? So it wasn't a deep slow gaze moment at first. It was light, fun, flirty. Maybe even you met through friends. Maybe you joke around. Maybe you vibe in a group setting. Maybe there's alcohol involved sometimes. Maybe it's social media banter. But here's what happened. They caught feelings in a situation that was supposed to be casual. And keep in mind, I'm gonna read this as in terms of connection, because I mean there has to be some love involved for people to be obsessed, especially about taboo topic. But do adjust with your situation, okay? This is collective reading, so I can't be all in all direction at once. Let's get back into it. So the 3 of Cups is the we're just having fun energy. And at some point, they kind of realize that, oh, wait, it's just not fun anymore. Example, you're laughing with other people, you're glowing, you're playful, you're carefree, and they're watching you from across the room and thinking, why do I like this person more than I'm supposed to? That's where it flipped. Now, the Strength being here, this is someone trying really hard to not act on impulse. They feel it. They absolutely feel it, but they're restraining themselves. They may think to hold back compliments, act more chill than they feel, pretend they're not jealous, playing it cool in front of mutual friends, because the 3 of Cups can also mean they don't want to mess up the vibe. Maybe you're in the same friend group. Maybe it's complicated. Maybe it's not that serious. So instead of diving in emotionally, they try to tame themselves. But let me tell you about what they do in private. Photograph. They look at your picture, not casually. It's kind of creepy. They zoom in, they linger, they revisit a lot of old photos. Especially if you've had a good memory together, they replay it. Visually, if there is a picture of you two in the same setting, this one hit different. Example, they're bored at night, then open your profile, scroll, pause on that one picture of a photo where you're smiling a certain way, and they just stare. It's nostalgic obsession. Now, here's the twist. We have not today. This is the person that avoids dealing with their feelings. They absolutely think about you. But when it gets surreal, they shut it down. You might notice they change the subject, they joke instead of being vulnerable, they pull back randomly, they say, I'm just vibing when they're clearly more invested because admitting it would shift the dynamic, and that scares them. Now, the fool is interesting here because it feels like they're the one who feels like they'd be taking a risk. They want to jump in, text you bold, confessed, kiss you randomly, or do something impulsive. But strength said, hold back. And acts, this is where it gets dramatic. They've thought about cutting this off because they care too much. Ask is, maybe I should just end this before I embarrass myself. Especially if they feel like they are not your only options. They feel like you're too free. They feel like you're losing emotional control. They'd rather detach than look foolish. But here's the part that softens everything. The butterfly. This connection is changing them. They're growing because of it. Even if they try to ignore it, even if they pretend it's nothing, even if they say not today to their feelings, you've triggered emotional evolution. They're learning how to handle jealousy, how to communicate better, how to sit with feelings instead of running, how to not sabotage something good. But growth is uncomfortable. So their obsession looked like this: laughing with you publicly, acting chill, going home and replaying everything, looking at your pictures, fighting the urge to confess, considering distancing themselves, then missing you again. It's very back and forth. That's why I said denial here. And the taboo part is they don't want to ruin the friendship or social dynamic, but they also don't want to see you with someone else. That would hurt more than they're prepared to admit. So they hover in this weird space, close enough to feel you, far enough to stay safe. But emotionally, you're already under their skin, collective. Let's take a look into your next spread. The next one we have is the 10 of Swords, 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. Oh, this is when it stopped being cute. Because spread 1 before, we kind of just like, yeah, we're just vibing, but like secretly stare at your pictures. Spread 2 is kind of like crashing out season because, let's talk about it. The 10 of Swords is emotional devastation. Dramatic, yes. But internally real and absolutely vivid, absolutely yes. Something hurt them. Now, it doesn't have to be like you betrayed them in some huge obvious way. Sometimes the 10 of Swords is perception. Sometimes it is assumption. Sometimes it's a small thing that hid a very old wound. So for example, they saw you flirting with someone else, or you didn't invite them somewhere, or you pulled back energy-wise, or you said something jokingly that hit deeper than you knew. Instead of communicating it, it felt like an ending in their head. The 10 of Swords just kind of like, oh. So that's what this is type of moment. They might have had, they might have smiled in your face. They might act normal, but internally they felt stupid for even catching feelings. The card seems and screams that I should have known. I should have had let myself care. Now, pair that with the 7 of Wands. That is defense card. After that hurt, walls up. They're guarded now. You might notice more sarcasm, more distance, less vulnerability, less initiating. Not because they stop caring, it's because they don't want to feel exposed like that again. 7 of Wands is pride mixed with protection. They're standing in a ground internally like, I'm about to look weak. I'm not gonna chase. I'm not the only one trying. I'm not gonna be that one. Even if nobody asked them to chase, even if you don't even know they're fighting this battle. Funny thing. And here's the thing. This is not a calm defense. It's reactive. They're kind of low-key on edge. Let me tell you that. If you seem distant, they withdraw first. If you seem too friendly with someone else, they got cold. If you match their energy, they question it. They feel like they have to protect their position. Now with the 2 of Wands, this is them at the crossroads. They're thinking about the future now. Do I keep investing in this? Do I step back? Do I explore other options? Is this going anywhere? This is where the obsession turns strategic. Before, they were just feeling. Now, they're evaluating. So, they're imagining 2 paths. Path 1, risk, open up, potentially get hurt again. Path the number one here: detach, redirect energy somewhere else, regain control. And they genuinely don't know which one to choose. That's why the energy feels tense, because the Ten of Swords says they already felt the sting of something. The Seven of Wands says they're protecting themselves. The Two of Wands says they're planning their next move. Like they're watching you differently now, not just admiring, assessing, trying to see if you are worth the emotional risk. And here's the taboo part that you want to know. They don't want to admit how much that moment hurt them, because it would mean admitting they were deeper in it than they pretended to be. Remember the spread one, how they were all in the knot today and acting chill? Yeah, the Ten of Swords exposed that act. They were never as detached as they made it seem. They just didn't want you to know you have that kind of power. Now they're in that uncomfortable space of like, I care, but I won't let it destroy me. So what am I going to do about it? Until they decide, expect a very, very extremely guarded energy, because they're not playing carefree anymore. Now they're protecting their heart, even if you're not the villain of the story. In their head, this got a lot more serious, and that is their obsession of you, people's obsession of you, pal, too. That would be all. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope this resonates. Bye-bye. All right, there, pile 3. Okay, you chose the Nine of Pentacles here. I was about to say sword, sorry. We have the another Nine of Pentacles. We have the Hanged Man. Ooh, this is down bad. We have engagement ring. It said engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. We have chaser in codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue. We have keys on a ring, many options, decisions, unconventional, string along, one night stand. We have mirroring each other, self-image, relationships, reflects our wound, and introspection. This one is layered, I would say. It's also very ego heavy, low-key, kind of like in a romantic I'm never gonna say that out loud, type of thing in here. So collective here. First thing first, I do remember that it could apply to not only for romantic connections, but when it comes to obsession, I do believe at least there's a tinge of love that could be there. But yeah, let's get into it. We have all of these cards together. First of all, what my focus immediately to the double Nine of Pentacles. You intimidate this person bad. The Nine of Pentacles is independence, self-sufficiency, luxury in your own energy. It's like you don't look like you need anyone. You look like you chose yourself first. I think you carry yourself like someone who's complete on their own. That's the obsession. Not because you're chasing them, not because you're available, but because you're not. You look expensive emotionally, even if you're not trying to. So for example, you go out alone. You post yourself enjoying life. You don't overshare. You don't beg for validation. You don't double text. You don't seem pressed when people come and go. I think that makes them feel like they have to earn you. And this is what's, that's the engagement ring, I think, where everything just lives. As you can see, like I have a hard time to really articulate this one, because they don't see you as casual, even if they act casual, even if they date other people, even if they pretend it's not serious, even if they have other friends, for example. Somewhere in their head, you're kind of like the long-term energy. Like they've imagined commitment with you, like actual commitment, maybe building something stable together, living together even, or being publicly seen as yours. But here's the wild part though, they might even be ready for commitment in general. But with you, it crosses their mind. Now let's talk about the chaser card. They feel like, perhaps here, this person, they don't want to be the chaser in general circumstances, but with you, they feel like they are. Even if you've shown interest, even if you are flirted, even if it's mutual, your independence makes them feel like they're the one who's trying harder, and that bruises ego. So sometimes they will pull back just to see if you follow. Sometimes they will act less interested just to see if you step forward. And it becomes like the silence dance of like who wants more. And you're just stable, And I think that's what makes it worst. Now we have the keys on a ring. They have options, or at least they act like they do. They might even talk to multiple people, keeping things open, avoid labels, or entertain attention elsewhere. But the truth is that those options don't hit the same. You're the standard. You know it. Everyone else is the distraction. They compare. Oh, they compare. How does this person make me feel compared to them? Why doesn't this feel as deep? Why am I still thinking about that one? Now we have the hanged man energy. This is where the obsession stalls. They are stuck. They see you clearly. They know you're high value. They know you're independent. They know you're not easy to manipulate. They know you're not desperate. And instead of charging forward, they pause. They think, they watch. The hanged man is someone who suspended their feelings. So for example, they type a long message, delete it, tap something dry instead. They want to move things forward, but they're afraid of rejection. They want to commit, but they're afraid of losing freedom. So they kind of sit in a limbo. And here's where the mirror comes in. You reflect them back into themselves. If they're inconsistent, you don't chase. If they're distant, you don't beg. If they step up, you match it calmly. You're the mirror energy collective. And that's what makes them uncomfortable, because they can't blame you. They can't say you did too much. They can't say you were clingy. They can't say you forced anything. You're just steady, like I said before. And I think that forces them to comfort and confront their own behavior. The obsession here is not loud jealousy. It's kind of admiration, actually, but mixed with intimidation. They think you're wifey husband material, let's be honest, but they're also scared you'll never need them. And here's the taboo part. They want to be chosen by someone who doesn't even need to choose anyone, which is kind of stupid. But they want to be the one who locks down, who locking in the independent one, because that would mean they're special. But until they feel secure enough, they will hover, they'll watch, compare, date around, pause, reflect, and secretly hope you're still available. When they finally decide to act, you're like the prize in their mind. They don't just want to look like they're competing for it. That's the tension, and that's why this obsession feels very controlled, but deep. Let's get into further. This is kind of twisted in a way. Let's get into it. Okay, spread 2, you have the 7 of Pentacles, Death, and 6 of Cups. Yeah, it just got emotional now, because spread 1 was intimidation, ego, long-term fantasy, admiration. Spread 2, this is where the past and timing come into play. This is where the obsession matures or mutates. Let's talk about it. The 7 of Pentacles is waiting, but not passive waiting. It's like evaluating waiting. This person has invested feelings here. Time, energy, thoughts. Even if it wasn't loud or dramatic, they planted something emotionally. And now they're staring at it like, is this growing? Is this worth continuing? Have I put too much into this already? This is someone reflecting on the effort. So for example, they think about all of the mess they reached, all of the mess they've done with you. They'll think about all the times they reached out first, all the times they held back pride, all the times they compared others to you, all the times they restrained themselves and keep practicing on restraining themselves. And I think they're asking themselves if the return matches the investment. It's not impatient, it's completion. And now we have the Death card. This is a turning point because something changed. Either the dynamic shifted, communication slowed, or one of you pulled back, or reality hit in some way. Death is ego death, So remember how intimidated they were, how they wanted to win you without looking like they're trying? Death says that version of them cannot survive anymore. They either transform or walk away. This is heavy internal change. So for example, they might realize that I can't play it cool forever. I either step up or lose this. I can't keep entertaining other options if I actually care. I can't expect them to chase me. Death forces accountability. Now we have the 6 of Cups. Oh, this is just nostalgia. If there is history here, they replay it. If there isn't a long history, they replay early moments. The first conversation, the first time you laughed together, The first time they felt intimidated. The first time they imagined commitment. The Six of Cups is self-longing. It's felt pure back then. It felt very pure back then. It's like I think they missed the simplicity before the pride, before strategy, before overthinking. And here's a deeper layer, like you feel familiar to them. Not in a chaotic twin flame way, but like in a comforting way, like they've known someone before, like someone who fits into their life very naturally, like someone who feels safe. And I think that's why the death hits so hard, because the idea of losing you, that feels like losing something rare. So now their obsession shift from how do I win this into how do I transform for this. Seven of Pentacles is the pause, the death is internal rebirth, and the Six of Cups is emotional anchor. So they might be quieter now, more reflective, kind of like less ego driven. But don't mistake silent for detachment collective. They're processing. They're realizing that you're not just someone impressive, you're someone meaningful. And I think that realization just changes the whole game, because once nostalgia and transformation mix, this stops being about pride. Now it's about regret prevention. They don't want to look back and say, I let that slip because I was too stubborn. I think that's the obsession now. Not just having you, but not losing what you represent. That is for you. That is people's taboo obsession about you. That is going to be what we have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Hope this resonates. Bye. Hello there, pile 4. You chose the Six of Wands. Let's get into your pile here. The cards that we have is Page of Wands and Four of Wands, so all Wands energy. We have karmic relationship, fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you. We have talking, interested, conversing more, awaited messages arrive, text, call, email, hovering, palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility, and self-indulgence. Focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Let's get into what we have over here. First of all, Nine of Wands, they proud to be associated with you. Like, I think visibly proud, like you're the type of person they would show off, post, or mention casually in conversation, or bring around friends. I think there's something about you that boosts their ego in every real way. So for example, if you walk into a room with them, they stand a little straighter. If you compliment them, they glow for the rest of the day. If you repose them or interact publicly, it hits different. They feel victorious to have your attention. But here's the thing. Sometimes Six of Wands can also mean they see you as a prize. And I think that's where it gets karmic. Now, Page of Wands here. This is flirt energy, playful, curious, slightly impulsive. I think this connection, probably started fast, like quick chemistry, past messages, inside jokes early. Like it's like, why does this feel exciting type of vibe? Page of Wands is someone who gets excited very easily, and they probably initiated a lot of the first talks in here, or keep the momentum going. Like there is a youthful spark over here. It's very fresh and feels alive, but the pages also can be very inconsistent. That tells us that they're excited one day and distracted the next. Now we have the Four of Wands, and I think here's the twist, because despite the playful start, they've absolutely imagined stability with you, like actual stability, like bringing you home, celebrating milestones, public commitment, and building something solid. The Four of Wands is foundation energy. So even if this started flirty and light, somewhere along the way, I think they thought that, oh, this could actually be something real. It's like somewhere along the way, they're just kind of like, this could actually be something, that could happen in real time. Now let's bring in the karmic relationship, because this is not random. I think you trigger them in ways that felt magnetic but also challenging. Karmic connection often come with intense attraction of mixed with lessons. For example, you excite them, you boost their ego, but also you activate their insecurities. Maybe you don't always validate them the way they expect. Maybe you call them out without trying. Maybe you mirror their behavior. Who knows? I think that friction, that it kind of kept them hooked. The karmic energy feels like, I can't let this go, but also like, why this is pushing all of my buttons. Now, this is talking card. There is a lot of communication here, like texting, DMs, late night conversations. checking in, random updates. Even if things slow down, the line of communication tends to reopen because neither of you fully closes the door. There's perhaps always another conversation waiting to happen. Palm tree. This is interesting because that's resilience. It's the connection bends, but don't break easily. So you might argue, pull back, take space, and somehow it comes back around. Not necessarily because it's perfect, but because the pull is persistence. Now we have self indulge. This is where the obsession gets personal, I would say, because the connection forces them to look at themselves, like their ego, their need for validation, their fear of not being admired, and their inconsistency. You make them reflect a lot, collective Pal 4. Even if they don't admit, they might ask themselves, like, why do I need attention like this? Why do I get jealous fast? And why do I feel so validated if they chose me? You're a mirror, I think, to their pride and their insecurity all at the same time. So I think that's why it feels kind of karmic, because it's not just about romance. I think it's also about growth, Now, let's be real. Part of their obsession is how good you make them look and feel. But the deeper part is that you challenge their self-image. You're not just someone who boosts them, you're someone who exposes where they still need to mature. And that's uncomfortable. So their obsession looks like flirting, showing you off, pulling you close, getting triggered, reflecting, then coming back, trying again. It's a cyclical, but not meaningless. Like there is a lesson for them, I think, about stability versus attention, about real foundation versus the ego validation. And until they fully integrate that, this connection will feel intense, passionate, a little dramatic, and hard to completely walk away from. Because karmic doesn't mean fake. It means performative. And you, Pal 4, you are performative to them. Let's take a look into the next spread. We have the Page of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, Pal 4. Spread 1 was about ego, pride, karmic lessons, playful fire, instability mixed with some potential. The spread 2, this is the emotional shift. This is where it stopped being just chemistry, and I think it just becomes attention here. Let's talk about it. Page of Cups first. I think this person has feelings they don't expect to have, like the soft ones, Not lust, it's not just ego validation, but you look good next to me, type of, not only that in here, it's like the actual tenderness. Page of Cups is that moment when someone catches themselves smiling at their phone and don't even know why. It's when they need to reread a sweet message from you. It's like when they almost say something venerable, then tone it down at the last second. It's, for example, here, they type, I miss you, then deleted it, then send, what are you up to? It's the Page of Cups energy. It's emotional curiosity, a little shy, a little exposed. And for someone who started off in a Nine of Wands, the Six of Wands pride mode, that's huge. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is where it gets serious because they've thought about offering you something real, not only talking, not only vibing, but not only flirting, like something stable here, consistency, a date planned properly, or a label, or a real beginning. The Ace of Pentacles, like, I could build something with this person. It's not fantasy like the Four of Wands daydreaming. It's practical. It's like, I see long-term potential and considering actually starting it. And this is where the karmic lesson from spread 1 kind of evolves. Instead of just wanting validation, they start thinking about value. Like, instead of how do I win this, it becomes to like, how do I invest in it? But here's the twist though. The King of Wands, now their ego comes back, but more mature. The King of Wands is not insecure like Page of Wands, he's confident, assertive, leader energy. This is them wanting to step into like the dominance, perhaps, well, as dominant as it can get anyway, in a healthy way. They want to pursue properly. They want to talk to talk more maturely and take the initiative. They want to feel like the one in control of the direction, but not in a manipulative way, in a, kind of like, I know what I want now type of way. For example, instead of random late night text here, they start suggesting like a real plan. Instead of a vague flirting, they make intentions a lot clearer. Instead of disappearing when get triggered, they try to hold the frame. It's like I think their obsession shift from chaotic attraction to strategic desire. And here's the deeper layer: the Page of Cups is how they feel. The Ace of Pentacles is what they want to offer. The King of Wands is who they're trying to become in order to it. I think you've upgraded them, collective, Pal 4. Like, not completely, I mean, but like they're still learning, but they don't want to show up as the page forever. Something about you matures them, you tame them in a way. Like they want to be seen as worthy for you or in front of you at least. It's like, remember spread one, how you boosted their ego but also challenged it? Now they want to match you, which is kind of creepy in a way. But like, they don't just want to be admired next to you, they want to lead something solid with you. And I think the taboo part is that they are scared that you will outgrow them before they fully step up, which I have a very strong intuition you will, if you're not already did. Because the Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity, and opportunities can be missed, right? So the obsession now feels like, I need to act, I need to offer something real, like I can't just like flirt forever, and I want this to be mine, but properly. There is still fire. The King of Wands is passionate, and that's the difference. But like there is the intention behind it now. Spread 1 was very much about karmic attraction, and spread 2 is about conscious choice. And they're deciding whether they're going to just enjoy your attention or like actually build something worthy of it. Very confusing, people. So yeah, that's what we have here. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Have a very lovely day. I hope this resonates. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.